Testing, testing. Hello, everyone. It is 12:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or New York City time. All right, it's 12:18 a.m. here. It says here June 18th, but my brain is still June 17th. All right, sorry for the lateness. Okay, so I was getting prepared with stuff. Work was crazy this week, and also lots of COVID updates, but I'm trying my best to summarize all of it. There's also in-depth stuff that I'm working on, but that's gonna be for future streams. And also, I'm gonna have a let's meet where it's proposed, so I'm waiting for confirmation for my next one. So anyway, lots of stuff going on. Also, lots of transit stuff. All right, as of now, New Jersey Transit shut down all commuter rail service. So, just letting you know, if it's still right now it's canceled, but hopefully maybe by Saturday morning, it's gonna come back. I think it was kind of like a strike because workers are not getting what they want, I guess. So that's why a lot of the engineers called out sick. So usually around 8ish p.m., the doors at Penn Station, they just shut down. They just shut the doors. So it's just like all of a sudden, while this is happening while I was at work. So, but anyway, we got some updates for both COVID and for the rails. Okay, monkeypox. I don't see a lot of issues now in New York City. We have 23 cases of the orthopox virus, so it's suspected. All right, so we have. It's not as fast as COVID for monkeypox, but still be on the lookout. And also, there is a vaccine available, so don't worry about it. All right, but still prevent it. All right, just as you would with COVID. All right, so let's get to it, shall we? All right, so earlier this week, I think it was few days ago, but I know it's earlier this week, Dr. Fauci got COVID. So, and he got he got 4 doses. So he got the primary series. I think he got Moderna. I don't know about the boosters. All right. And I also got into an argument with one of my friends through DMs that Dr. Fauci made COVID, and that's not true. There might be, something about funding some kind of a lab in China, but that doesn't, just because they're funding a lab in China doesn't necessarily mean, oh, they're making COVID. That doesn't work like that. All right, because my friend told me that karma got him and all that stuff. I don't know. It's just too much misinformation, disinformation, and I'm just tired of it. That's what I told him. I made it very clear. Very tired of this. So he's doing okay. He has mild symptoms, but nonetheless, he's working in isolation. He's working, but he's in isolation. Similar to what Mayor Adams had to deal with for New York City. All right, so you've been hearing a lot, and proposed vaccine eligibility, we're getting really close. All we need is the CDC director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, to just sign it off. So, so far, it's for Moderna for the 2 doses for age 6 to 17. So that's one section, and 2 doses for age 6 months to age 5 years. So that's 2 different things. So the panel, so VRPAC, they approved. They said the FDA panel says, yeah, let's do it. And then, so FDA says yes, but we're not there yet, because maybe as early as Saturday, tomorrow, Dr. Walensky is going to sign that thing. Once that's signed, as early as tomorrow, maybe a few days later, we can get the shots in as early as next week for Moderna for those 6 months and up. So we're expanding it. So basically, almost everyone is eligible for it. Pfizer is 3 doses. So we're gonna get it to the updates. I'm gonna do. I updated the vaccine regimens. At least this is only for the U.S. Just letting you know, this is only for the U.S. Where I'm from in the Philippines, they approved basically almost all the vaccines that were made. They got Bharat from India. They already approved Novavax. They got Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson. They got the ones from China, and I forgot the names of it. Oh, Coronavac, that's from Sinovac. That's from China. All these things. All right, and yet the vaccination in my country's lagging behind because of something that happened years ago, where there was an issue with one of the vaccines. Hey, we just started. Thank you for stopping by, Nikki. Guess what? We got COVID. COVID, and we got some real stuff also. All right, so Dr. Fauci got COVID. So one of my friends, if you know MJ or Meredith, so she told me about this a couple days ago, and proposed vaccine eligibility is going to be expanding. Now also, COVID metrics are leveling off. That doesn't mean you start partying and go. Well, you can party, but just be safe. I don't mean to be a downer, but before anything, I hope all is well with you so far. What happened? What's going on? Give me the details, please. I need to know. I don't mean to be a downer, but before anything, I hope all is well with you so far. I gotta read that again because I need to know what's going on. Is something wrong with me? I need to know. Think we might have to chat. We might need to have to chat or something. Anyway, so now, so as I wait for the response, I'm gonna keep going. So COVID metrics leveling off. I have here. Oh, I don't know what's going on with that one. So, all right. So as the cases level off, it's kind of just a little bit. But despite the fact that I'm returning to New York for a teaching career, my mom and sister are not being supportive of my choice of being a middle school teacher in Brooklyn. Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness. That is crazy. But you know what? You're an adult, okay? I mean, I'm going to put this aside. So, I'm so happy that you're coming back to New York. And I don't know what your mom and sister want you to do, to be honest with you. But honestly, you're an adult right now. You go what makes you happy. All right? And, I've been through that before. They bring up stock market crash. Okay. Inflation and also crime rates. I already survived most of this stuff. It really depends on the neighborhood. It really does. I live in a place called Howard Beach, and it's it's near JFK, so we're okay with that. Not all places are perfect. All right, about San Jose, that area. All right. Just because the stock market crash doesn't mean New York's gonna go down there. Don't underestimate New York City. I know because I live in New York City for at least 33 years. My first year was in the Philippines, okay, in Quezon City. But that's beside the point. The point is you never count it out because we're very, very, very resilient. All right, it's you can't just trust. You can't. My sister thinks that the teens in my school are ghetto and rowdy, which is siballing false, because my students have diversity, race, gender. I know. Well, we know that because we live in New York City. You're going to come back to New York City, but that's a racist remark. I've been there before because I went to a high school that is ghetto route. My sister calls some people ratchet, and I don't even know what that means. Oh, sexist and racist. Oh my god. All right, Rob, right? So he goes back and forth between California and New York, and his work environment, he doesn't have to physically show up to work. He just uses the laptop and he can work wherever he wants. I think he's in BuzzFeed or something. I don't know if you know him, Rob. It used to be it's Gum Goomba. I don't know if he has Twitch though, but I actually have a message that I got from him, and I have to find it. All right. Yes, I wish I can have that. All right, so let me read this. This is what I got. Dear all of Tiger Asian parents, I know who he is. Don't worry whether or not. Okay, thank you. Don't be surprised when your child grows up and abandons you. You saw them as investments for your future and trophies to show off. That's been like that for my family. Because when I was younger, my parents were pushing for schools, pushing to get good grades, high grades. My dad, when I was younger, told me to get a 95% or higher. I don't know, in some cases, just going in the 90s percentage in grades is already good enough. 95 and higher is basically almost the same as like the 90, like 94, 93, 92, 91, 90. Like, that's amazing. We're all humans. So, my parents would compete and say, "Oh, whose kids got the higher grades or whatnot," and my cousins and we would compete against each other, and we would show off those ribbons, the certificates, the honor rolls. Like all three of us went into the honor roll a few times. Okay, so I worked my ass off. My brother, for some reason, worked smart, and he was able to get honor roll. My sister got honor roll, but and I got my doctorate. My brother is a traveling radiology technician. He also gives presentations too. Okay, so you saw them as your investments for your trophy, for your future and trophies to show off. I'm already planning things out, but what the fuck can I do to make my mom happy? I have a fucking life. I'm so sorry. Don't ban me. Please don't ban me. Whoever, YouTube, Twitch. I just, it just let out. I'm sorry. Okay. You know what? If they're not... No. It's okay. I take responsibility for it. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that if you're steadfast in the things you want to do and people don't like it, that means you're doing something right. Someone told me, I think. I don't think. I know someone told me. I forgot the person's name. All right, so if you're happy with the decisions you make, and if they're not happy, they're pretty insecure about it. They basically like to control, and they don't like feathers to be ruffled. They like the status quo. I know because my parents are like that. All right, I've been through that. I was the oddball. I'm already aware of everything I need to know. Exactly, and I totally support you all the way. You're one of my best friends. Well, we're like family because we look like we were related. So anyway, let me continue this. And I have plans to get my... Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm very happy, very, very happy for you. All I can say is, don't let them get the best out of you. You already know. So, anyway, let me start over. Dear all of Tiger Asian parents, Let me go to myself. Don't be surprised when your child grows up and abandons you. You saw them as investments for your future and trophies to show off. All you care about is trying to look good to other parents rather than trying to be good to your child. You pressure, guilt trip, and berate them for relaxing or not keeping up when you could be happy for their happiness. But my mom doesn't understand that she hates that my friends. But my mom does not understand that she hates that my friends won't help me when things go south. Mm. I try, you do the best you can. Sometimes, I don't know if I read that right. But anyway, so, wow. She always has something to say. Wow. Okay, so, Tiger Asian parents, I ask you, I beg of you, please be the one to break the cycle of endless tiger parenting. Just be patient. Your child will be successful, but let them do it on their own pace. My apologies. Let them choose their path, guide them. Don't control them. Be there for them when they fall. Don't blame them. Help them get back up. Don't kick them when they're down. Okay, so that's the note that I got. Alright, so it looks keep doing what makes you happy as long as you don't hurt yourself, as long as you don't hurt anyone. We actually need teachers, okay? At least you're being you're serving society. Like, okay, she thinks you folks won't help me when I'm evicted or have issues, but I myself will do everything I can to make the best. I will level up. That's part of growing up. Education is the future, definitely. I know that because my parents take it very seriously. And that's why I did not cosplay or go to cons when I was in college or in high school. And simply because I need to study. Alright, let's get back to this. So, but anyway, sometimes going on your own a little bit, can help you grow too. So it's a balance. But it sucks that just because there's not enough funding does not mean I can't pursue. So what? Exactly. Funding's one thing, but it's really this and the willpower. Okay? Because with willpower and, the heart of the cards, I mean the I know I call it the heart of the cards, but I'm talking about the determination, that the fire in your belly. That's a Natsu reference from Fairy Tale. All right, anything's possible regardless of the funding. Yeah, we know. It's about control. Your older sister sucks at being a sibling. Well, that's her problem. I'm the oldest of three, and I suck. I suck at being a sibling myself. But your ate needs to butt out. Okay, that's she got to do her thing. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I appreciate you sharing. So, okay, that's the other ones here. That's similar to it. It just shows that the cases are flattening a bit, and everything is still going up. 13% is still pretty high. That's a little bit more than 1 in 10 people. So that's every 100 people, there are 13 getting tested positive. And this is just recorded. Because there are people who are tested positive and they don't report the results. And those are particularly the ones who are doing the nose swab, and it's the rapid tests. I think I have one there, but I'm not using it because I have no symptoms. I'm fine, that kind of thing. All right, let me keep going. Okay, so now I think this one I've said this already, but as time goes on, the more cases that we're finding, are belonging to either the BA4, BA5 subvariant. Don't worry about which kind of subvariant it is or variant, whatever it is. All right, the tools needed to stop the spread still works. Okay, vaccine is one of them, but don't rely on just the vaccination. Do everything. Vaccination, masks. If you're able to social distance, great. You know, be healthy. Take your vitamin C. Hydrate, of course. I mean, those are the usual stuff. You have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll be more vulnerable to COVID and being sick to other things. So please be healthy and safe, as my friend DJ Nicky Zem says all the time. Also, there is a friend of mine brought this up to me, but I also found out through Instagram. So Walter Reed, there's a research facility in Walter Reed Medical Center, and they're doing a study on the SPFN. So it's basically stands for ferritin nanoparticle in with spike proteins. So this vaccine is being studied, and they want this vaccine to attack all coronaviruses. So everything, all the variants. So Omicron, Delta, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, all these things with the alphabet soup and the numbers. And when remember B, like, so I forgot those. You know, who cares? we I remember it used to be all numbers, and also common cold, etc. So that's great. You know, we haven't, the full results will be coming this fall 2022. So stay tuned. All right, I thought, I have to look into, now that I just remembered, I think years ago they were working on a pan-influenza vaccine. I have to look into that. Okay, so far, I don't see anything like this for the flu as well, but we'll see. Now, that being said, this one, I think it's still gonna be a yearly thing because the virus keeps mutating. So it's not something that would just get rid of it all entirely, unfortunately. Okay, like we almost got rid of smallpox. We almost got, well, actually, yeah, it's mainly eradicated. Smallpox is mainly eradicated. Okay, for the most part. Polio, not, it's very few. Used to be a debilitating disease a long time ago. And then because of vaccination, it's almost gone. Measles, same thing. Vaccination helped, crush it. And then now it's coming back because the kids are not getting vaccinated. And then I hear their parents say, not my problem, I'm like, come on, man. Look, like, I get it. We want our freedoms. We want to do whatever we want. Okay? Please don't do whatever you want. Okay? Please don't. No. Please do the right thing. Alright? Sometimes individual choices can affect other people too. So it's not just individualism. It's a balance between individualism and collectivism. So, don't be greedy. Don't be selfish. It's about all of us. Okay, we're all in this together. All right, and we're slowly transitioning. So the worst part's over. All right, we just have to capitalize on it and not lose our focus. We have to keep being focused. Okay, especially for the ones who are the more vulnerable. All right, so those are the ones with the elderly, the ones who are immunocompromised, those with comorbidities. So we got to protect them. Why? Because they're vulnerable to COVID, among many other diseases. Okay. So, let's do our COVID vaccine update. So I added a few things, all right? So, Pfizer's vaccine, we still call it Pfizer vaccine. You may see Comirnaty, that's the same thing. So that's your mRNA vaccine. So For ages 5 and up, it's 2 doses 3 weeks apart. I'm not going to get into how much in terms of micrograms or milliliters. This is just for simplicity. Usually the 12 and up, they have the full dose, and then the doses go lower. So it's lower when you're in the age 5 to 11, and it's going to be even lower for those age 6 months to 4 years, at least for Pfizer. And it's kind of similar to Moderna as well, but we're not going to go into that right now. What we're going to focus on... Oh, what's happening here? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so... my thing... Okay, so... My bad. Alright, so... For Pfizer, so ages 5 and up, it's 2 doses, 3 weeks apart. That's your initial vaccine regimen. We'll get to boosters later. Alright. Proposed. So this one, all we need is that signature from Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the CDC director. So for ages 6 months to age 4 years, so this is for under 5, but age 6 months, so from age 6 months old to under 5, age of 5 years, you get 3 doses. So the first 2 doses is the same thing as everybody else's for Pfizer. So it's 3 weeks between doses 1 and 2, and then 8 weeks after the second dose. Again, not approved yet. Almost there. As of June 17th, they cleared the FDA panel. The FDA approved it. Just because they do it doesn't mean we're good. You know, the CDC director says, hey, sign it, boom, done. Next thing is Moderna. That's me. That's my vaccine. It's called Spikevax. It's 2 doses, 4 weeks apart. So far, it's for ages 18 and up. The proposed here is, as I said on a couple slides ago, there's like 2 sections, but for now I'm gonna combine it. So it's gonna be from age 6 months to age 17 years. So 2 doses, 4 weeks apart. Just letting you know that the dose for ages 6 months to age 5 years, and from ages 6 years to 17, the doses are different to some extent. But now, and also next thing, Janssen or Johnson Johnson, you see J. Covden, it's still 1 dose for the initial one. Alright, anything after that they're all boosters. Also, as I talked about, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a few streams ago, Novavax is proposed. Now, the FDA panel has recommended this vaccine. We just haven't received the signature yet to say, hey, yes, let's do it. So it's 2 doses, 3 to 8 weeks apart, and this is only for ages 18 and up. The immunocompromised, if you're immunocompromised, your third dose, you're going to have a third dose as the initial vaccine regimen, so it's going to be 2 to 6 months after the second dose. So there's no booster info yet for those who are not immunocompromised. And we're going to get to boosters. So if you started with Pfizer, so keep in mind, these are the doses after the initial series. So when I say 1 dose of any 3, so it's after the primary series. So in this case, if you started with Pfizer, if your age is 18 and up, 1 dose of any 3, so that's your Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson, not Novavax yet. Novavax is not approved yet, so it's at least 5 months after the second dose. So that's for the regular population, so for ages 18 and up. For ages 5 to 17, you're going to do this, it's all 3 shots must be Pfizer. So you wait the same length of time. And so far there's no booster yet for those under age 5. Unless if you are immunocompromised, which we will talk about soon. Actually, So I think that's gonna come up soon. But for the booster for immunocompromised, for I might be getting ahead of myself. If you started with Moderna, yeah, that's me. Age 18 and up, I got it's one dose of any three at least 5 months after second dose. If you know me, I got my third dose 8 months, more than 8 months. So I remember it was mid-January 2021 and then mid-February 2021 and then it was, I think, October 23rd. Somewhere late October. So it was more than 8 months. With boosters, you can be a little bit flexible. You can wait a little bit longer. Problem is, the longer you wait, especially if you're in an area where COVID metrics are pretty high and they're going in the wrong direction, you could be rolling the dice. Okay, especially if you are immunocompromised, number one. Number two, if you are at a higher risk of COVID. So if you're elderly, if you have comorbidities, for example. So I have respiratory related issues. I have asthma. That makes me vulnerable to COVID. And thank goodness I've never gotten COVID before. All right. Next thing is that let's see here. Oh yeah, so if you start with Johnson & Johnson, so this is only for ages 18 and up, one dose of any three, at least 2 months after the initial dose. So what they should have done was, I think Dr. Fauci said this, Johnson & Johnson should have been a 2-dose series. But anyway, that's beside the point. So that what he said is not part of the guidelines in this case. This specific thing about Johnson & Johnson. Okay. Second booster and fourth dose, which you already know already. This is only Pfizer and Moderna, so this is only for those ages 15 up only. I'm still not eligible yet, so you take this at least 4 months after the first booster or the third dose. Now, this one, it's not 4/1. We have to change this because this is as of 6/17. So, June 17th, or 2022. So now we have an update on the boosters for those who are immunocompromised. So, if your age is 18 and up, it's one dose of Moderna or Pfizer at least 28 days after the second shot. Okay, ages 5 to 12, Pfizer only. Okay, for all 3 shots. So that's what we have here. And ages 12 and up, you're gonna do so. Hold on. Okay. 4 months. Okay, so fourth dose after. Fourth dose 3 months after the third dose. All right, and then you're gonna do another dose 4 months after the fourth dose. So again, updated information, and this one applies for Moderna ages 18 and up, and for Pfizer's ages 12 and up. That could change. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But again, no updates yet on notes. This is where we stand. Johnson & Johnson, this is only for 18 and up only. First dose should be your first booster would be can be Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer or Moderna. Okay, so at least 2 months. Actually, wait, I'm sorry. First dose is Johnson & Johnson, and then second dose would be 4 weeks after the first dose, and it has to be Pfizer or Moderna. Okay, and then third dose, Pfizer or Moderna as well, 2 months after the second dose. So, yep, that one there's no change. So that's just the update that we have. The main update will actually be for this one. Okay, so we're talking this, the proposed the three doses for Pfizer, and the for ages 6 months to age 4 years. So why did they do three doses? If you see my streams a long time ago, it's because their first two doses, they didn't achieve the efficacy they wanted. Instead of going back to the drawing board, which costs money and more people, they would say, okay, let's do a third dose. What they should have done is they should have they should have increased, put more, they should have made the dose larger, but in order to elicit more of a response. All right. And also the proposed one from age 6 months to age 17 years overall, two doses 4 weeks apart. So those are the big ones where that's being proposed, as well as Novavax. All right. I'll be right back. We're going to do the rail report. Testing. All right. Very good. Second segment, rail report. Right. So just want to put it out there that what New Jersey Transit engineers, so they're the ones who run the trains, they basically walked out. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it in the news. I'm actually gonna try to see if I can get that. But what happened earlier this evening? So I posted it on the Instagram stories as of, I think it was 6:30 p.m. when I received the message. No New Jersey trains running, just the commuter rails, and that's like in the kind of like on the tail end of the evening rush, which is kind of stupid, to be honest with you. I really don't understand what their problem is. You know, you got people have to go home and people have to do what they need to do. Not everyone has a car, and even if people would have cars, traffic would be ridiculous, and that would really hurt the economy. Whether it's New Jersey, New York, even Pennsylvania. So, I'm sorry, I got really hungry. I'm so sorry. Alright. So, there is one that is currently active right now. I'm actually checking here. We're actually going to go to... So, right now... So, until Saturday morning, all these trains you see here... Let me zoom out. All of this, all these bold colors here, all these colors, there's no service. And the shutdown service started around 8ish p.m. New York City time. It's stupid. So people are just trying to get to the trains, and then there were delays because they had to stop at all the stops since after so basically it was a sick out, as they call it. So engineers called out sick because it was kind of like a strike. And I remember when I was in high school, there was a strike on the New York City subway, and oh my goodness, it was crazy. And they shouldn't allow something like this to happen, seriously. If these regular people are going to go on strike, they have to at least have some people in reserve. You know, at least to keep things going. At least to some degree. Alright. Or else it's just going to cripple the economy. It's ridiculous. Alright, so there is one that is active right now. That's why I'm posting it I'm showing the New Jersey Transit thing first. So right here, it's not really the solid colors. We're gonna actually go zoom in for Newark Hudson Bergen Light Rail right over here, and there is a suspension in service south of Danforth Avenue. So between Danforth Avenue and 8th Street, there is no trains due to an overhead wire issue. So bus service is being provided, and it's running between Danforth Avenue and 8th Street. So that's something that's still active. It may be resolved maybe Saturday, who knows. So I just want to put that out there first. Alright, let's get back to let's go to the ongoing. So anxiety train, yes, it's gonna go on, I think, through the first week of July, if I'm not mistaken. So southbound A and C trains will be local between 59th Street and West 4th Street. Then it's gonna go on the F from West 4th Street to J Street. Also, the S train, so on weekends, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., it's going to run from Beach 116th Street. It's going to extend from Broad Channel to Rockaway Boulevard. What I've noticed, and reason why I've noticed, because I'm in this area, I gotta curse a little. The Shiggy train, the Sugar Honey Iced Tea train, when this extends, it takes service away from the anxiety train. So there's actually even more anxiety. So less trains running to Mott Avenue because there's actually more S trains going here. They're sharing tracks. So this sucks. And it causes delays because the S train would have to go, would turn back and all that stuff. So it's going to stop for a bit, and it's going to go here, and it's going to hold up all the other anxiety trains. pisses me off. But you gotta run more service, man. I don't care about the bridge. You gotta fix that thing, okay? That bridge is a pain in the butt cheeks, in the ass cheeks. Okay, ass is not as bad as a word as compared to the F and the S word. Okay, so anyway, beside the point. Next thing is on the PATH trains. I don't know how long this is gonna take. So 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. 9th Street and 23rd Street will be closed for whatever maintenance it is. So that's your ongoing. This is going to be for the weekend. So we're going to focus on the 2, 3, and 4 trains. By the way, no 5 trains on in Brooklyn for the weekend. Just putting it out there. Alright, so eastbound 2, 3, and 4 trains express between Atlantic Avenue Barclays Center and Franklin Avenue Medgar Evers College. It's kind of easier to do a transfer also Nevins as well. Just letting you know that the 2, 3, and 4 trains will actually go on the express track at Atlantic Avenue. So if you need to do any transferring, go to Nevins Street. So how the platforms are set up in these two stations are a little different for Nevins and Atlantic. How I know? Because I went to LIU Brooklyn and I used to use these trains all the time when I was in college. Next thing, so this one's 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. So it's gonna 9:30 p.m. on Monday to 5 a.m. on Friday rather, 9:30 Friday to 5 a.m. on Monday. Next thing, we're gonna go to Harlem. So northbound A and C trains will be expressed between 125th Street and 168th Street. Next thing, we go to the F train. Southbound is express between 34th Street and West 4th Street. It will skip 23rd Street and 14th Street. Continue with the F. It's gonna go express between J Street and Church Avenue, but it'll stop at 7th Avenue. Just letting you know, there's no G trains between Hoyt Schermerhorn and Church Avenue. And it splits at Bedford Nostrand. It's around, I think, 20-30 minutes runs between Bedford Nostrand and Hoyt Schermerhorn. I don't put frequencies simply because the subways are unpredictable and expect the frequencies to be out of whack. So use the My MTA app and go to the real-time countdown clocks there. Okay. Next thing, we're gonna go just right over here. There is no J train between Marcy Avenue and Broadway Junction. You need to take a bus. Next thing, also with the M train, there is no M train whatsoever. None. A bus is gonna run between Marcy Avenue and Metropolitan Avenue. Next thing, so this one is only for the J and the M trains. It's only from 11:30 p.m. on Friday through Sunday 10 p.m. It's a little different, but the next one is from 11:30 p.m. on Friday to 5 a.m. on Monday. The next thing is on the 2 train. So what's going on with the 2 train? More shenanigans. Okay, so there's no 2 train between 3rd Avenue, 149th Street, and 135th Street. So this is taken out. I'll explain about the 5 in a little bit later, because it's also affected. So 2 train runs in 2 parts. First part is in the Bronx, 241st Street and 3rd Avenue, 149th Street. The second part, the 2 train runs between Flatbush, goes its usual way, and then instead of going this way, it's going to continue to the 3 train. It's going to skip 145th Street because 145th Street, the station length is not long enough to fit all the trains. So this is what you're going to do. There are 3 shuttle buses. Don't ask me why. All right. So there's one between 149th Street Grand Concourse and 135th Street, but it's gonna stop on the 145th Street station. The next two buses run nonstop. So the first one runs from 3rd Avenue 149th Street to 149th Street Grand Concourse, which you can actually walk. So I don't understand. Okay, but it's there. The next thing is the 3rd Avenue 149th Street. It goes from 3rd Avenue 149th Street to 135th Street nonstop. So it's actually going to skip the 149th Street Grand Concourse. So you know what? They should do is that part with the 3rd Avenue 149th and 149th Grand Concourse. Just get rid of that bus and just combine that. Just have two buses. Make it easy. So one is from 3rd Avenue 149th Street to 135th Street, and you stop at 149th Street Grand Concourse and 145th Street, and the other one goes express between 3rd Avenue 149th Street and 135th Street. It's not complicated, man. Come on. I don't understand you guys. To help with confused passengers, this S train's gonna run all weekend. Am I finished with the Bronx? No, I'm not. I had a phone call with my friends who are going to AX. It's okay. You can lurk. It's okay. Thank you for stopping by anyway. And I'm so excited for you to go to AX. I think it's your first time. I only went to AX once in 2018. So I had a great time. I went to all 4 days. Next thing, there's no D train north of 161st Street. So, see this? Between 161st Street and Norwood, 205th Street, there is no D trains. What you're going to do is you're going to take the 4 train, which can be as close as 2 blocks away. I'm hoping it won't be my last, just because it's a sea of people. I love it. That's why it's always a sea of people. I love it. Alright, so, see, these stations here, they're very close to each other. So, back in the early 30s, the IND, so that's the Independent Subway System. It's built by the city. That's in this case, under Grand Concourse. This is IRT. This was before it was private. So they would compete with each other. And their goal for the city was to build this and then take this down. It was basically because they were saying, oh, the elevated train lines, they're blocking the sunlight. It's better to build them underground. But building it underground, it's very expensive. But they ended up keeping the 4 train. But that's okay, because that's good. But what we need to do is we actually need a subway line down the middle here. But that's beside the point. Alright. There used to be a 3rd Avenue line right here. But I don't know why people tore it down. Doesn't make sense to me. It was called the 8 train, the number 8 train. But, that was back in the, I think, 60s. Roughly. It's very expensive to take Metro North anyway. Okay, so now if you want to use the Norwood 205th Street, you have to take a shuttle bus that runs between Mosholu Parkway and 205th Street. So just putting it out there. Also, next thing with the D train, the northbound D train stops at 135th Street. Southbound, it skips it. Northbound D train skips 155th Street, but southbound stops at 155th Street. So just keep that in mind. Northbound stops at 135th Street for the D, and then it skips 155th Street. The next thing is, if you're going to the Mermaid Parade for Saturday, for tomorrow, there is no N train south of Kings Highway. The bus will run between Kings Highway and Coney Island Stillwell Avenue. If you want direct service, take the D train. Or what you can do, you can also transfer on the F. It's up to you. There are many different ways. Or you can transfer to the Q across here, and you can use that to get to Coney Island. So those are your alternatives to get there. Next thing, 12 a.m. on Saturday, so it already started today, until Sunday 1 a.m. So we're gonna go to Long Island Railroad here. There is no Long Island Railroad east of Great Neck. You need to take a bus. However, the bus skips Plandome in both directions, and so Manhasset would be your closest, or you have to use the nice buses. Just I don't know why they would skip Plandome. Doesn't make sense to me. All right, next thing is 5:45 a.m. to 8 p.m. for Saturday and Sunday. So it's partial for this one. For the back to the subway, we're gonna go to the 6 train. Okay, that's weird. Well, I don't know what happened here. I think I pressed. Maybe it works now. That was weird. My screen turned gray. Let me just see. Can I do... I'll put it right over here. Okay, perfect. So, we have to get back to the subway. We're going to go to the 6 train. So, in the 6 train, southbound 6 trains express between Pelham Bay Park and Hunts Point. So it's going to stop at Parkchester. So southbound will skip Burr, Middletown, Westchester Square, Zarega, Castle Hill, and then all these stations over here. Southbound. It may slow down a bit, just letting you know. Alright? Because they're doing track work. Next thing, 5:45 a.m. for Saturday until 8 p.m. on Sunday. So the north, we're going to get back to Brooklyn. Northbound N train is via the R line. Oops. So between Atlantic Avenue until Canal. So it's going to go through the tunnel. At the same time, northbound Q over here, it's going to go via the B, as in boy, the B train. It's going to go here, just the northbound, and it's going to go express. So it'll skip 14th to 23rd Street, and then it's after Rockefeller Center, it's going to follow the F train, and then after Lexington 63rd, it'll continue on its regular route. Next thing, so now we're going to talk about the 5 train. Reason why I bring it up a little bit later is because its hours are different. Now, there's no 5 between East 180th Street and 3rd Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry. So let me see here. Between 3rd Avenue, I think it's 3rd Avenue, 149th Street rather. So you're gonna have to use. Let me see something here. Something changed. Just got a notification. So this one, something unexpected happened. Let's see what happened to the 5. Okay, so sorry for the confusion. So the 5 train runs in 2 sections. The first section is going to run between Dyer Avenue and East 180th Street. That one continues all weekend. The second section is between 149th Street Grand Concourse, but it's not going to stop here. It's actually going to stop on the 4 train, on the 4 train platforms. All right, and this one will go from 149th Street Grand Concourse on the 4 train to Bowling Green. So those are the 2 sections. So I just wanted to make that very clear. Let me see here. All right. So let me continue here. So I was right the first time when I wrote it on my notes that there's no 5 train between East 180th Street and 149th Street Grand Concourse. Okay. However, the northbound 5 trains, alright, we'll skip 138th Street Grand Concourse. Again, northbound 5 train skips 138th Street Grand Concourse. Why is that? Because since it's going to be sharing with the 4 train, the middle track for the 149th Street Grand Concourse will be for the 5 train. So it's going to use that as a terminal. And then the 2 tracks on the left and the right will be for the 4 train. I know, a lot of information. So it went 2 parts, and so that's how complex the 5 train is. Next thing is we are gonna go to the light rail, Newark light rail. So we're gonna actually zoom into the. We're gonna go right over here. We're gonna zoom in here. So Newark light rail. So for the Newark light rail, it'll only stop at the northbound platforms. So that would be on NJPAC, Atlantic Stadium, and Broad Street. However, it's not. So all trains will go on this side. Washington Park will be closed. Okay, so no southbound. No trains on southbound platforms between Broad Street and Newark Penn Station. So an alternative to Washington Park, you just go to Atlantic Station. Next thing is once the trains come back, there's actually a section is going to be cut off on the Raritan Valley line. So the Raritan Valley line is only going to run between Highbridge and Cranford. So between Cranford and Newark, this is, yes, here it is. Between Cranford and Newark, you have to take a bus. And this is due to track work on Conrail. Also, there's a concert going on. So I think this is going to be going on every weekend. And we're going to get to Secaucus Junction here. So from 4:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. So on Saturday, New Jersey Transit runs between. There's special service here. Lastly, so this one is Sunday, June 19th through Monday, June 20th. Back to the subway. Lastly, and this is for the E and F trains in Queens. So in both directions, E and F trains are local between Roosevelt Avenue and 71st Avenue. So, whew, that is a long. Whoa, that is a lot. That's some heavy stuff right here. All right, so that's my stream. That's my crazy stream, and so thank you for everyone, especially my mod DJ Nikki, for coming. I truly appreciate it. I'm gonna check to see who I'm rating, and I have 2 friends who are playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Patchwork, and then there's my friend Claire Bear here. Let's see. Oh, a lot of people are live. Wow. Okay. So let's see. Lost Ark. I like Arrows. It's just that it's just a game. I'm not big with the game here. All right. Let's see. I'm not big with Fortnite. I know you're good with Fortnite, but I'm not into that. You know what? Let's do Claire Bear. I haven't she's from San Diego, so, and I love her. So she's really nice and all that. So let's do this. And I have to make sure it's Claire Bear. Alright, let's see if it works. Alright, so thank you everyone for watching. Alright, and in the words of DJ Nicky Zem, I hope you all please to stay. Oh, no, let me start over. Actually, let me do this. There we go. There I am. In the words of DJ Nicky Zem, I hope you all stay healthy and safe as always. Y en las palabras de Doctora Ana Maria Polo, he dicho, boom, transmisión cerrada. I will see you Monday. I'm actually going to upload I'm going to post my new Twitch schedule pretty soon. Okay? I'll see you then. Peace. Bye-bye.